What is up, fellow questers and gamers and painters? It is nice to see you all. We already have Justin here. We have Gohan here. What's up, guys? I'm glad that you joined me. If we have any new time people, the first time people here, we do this every day of the week except Thursday nights. So let me think about this. Uh, Friday and Saturday nights and Monday and Tuesday nights is my husband streaming playing Hero Quest, and then Sunday and Wednesday nights it's yours truly here painting the miniatures that he is playing Hero Quest with. So I determined while the other day while I was in the kitchen, and I told my husband, I said, if I only paint on streams and I don't ever paint anything off of streams, I said it's going to take me forever. I said, so I think on nights when I'm not streaming, even if if I'm not streaming, but I still feel like painting after the kids are asleep, coming down here and still painting. So that's what I did last night. I ended up painting the dwarf last night. Hogard, I think is his name. And I'll show him in a minute when I get over to my other cam here. But we're still a small enough channel right now that, anybody that joins us, any comments, we can respond to all the comments. Gohan says, set up a whole extra camera from you. Actually, this is the same camera that Luke uses on HeroQuest. It's on a swivel, like this thing right here. It swivels. So I'm right next to the table that he plays on, and I just swivel it over to my area. Which is why he said last night, why if we had an extra camera, it would be over here, because the two that he uses, all I got to do is just swing this around when it's my turn to stream. So might look into getting another one to attach to this table and figure out some other camera. So that way if we want to go at the same time, like he wants to play and I want to paint, you can kind of check out two different activities going on at once. Gohan says, sorry, I'm always lurking in and out of multiple streams. Oh, no, that's totally fine. That's totally cool. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you've joined me. So tonight we're going to be working on the Warlock. She's going to be a little tricky, I think, because she's pretty small. She's pretty tiny. She's got a lot of detail, and a lot of the colors on her card were kind of hard to figure out, so I kind of just went with what I thought was at least closest or somewhat. The only difference is, and I'll show this, I'll go ahead and get the music started, and I'll go over to the painting cam here. Give me 1 second and I'll start that music, and then we'll be ready to go here. So actually her card, right, looks like this. See if I can get it up to where you guys can see it. Oh, not too much in the light there. So because of this this part right here, which is her demon hand. See how it's green? And it's like real bright green and stuff. And it shows a light across her body. So it's hard to tell what a lot of her colors are on this card. So I kind of just did it as best as I could. Justin says, I'll be lurking mostly playing Hero Quest with my wife. Cool, cool, sweet. And Gohan said, Warlock is my fave. Well, I hope I can do her justice tonight. One of the things that Luke did want to change for sure is the color of her flame. And the color of her demon form, he wants it to be red and black instead of green. And I was totally fine with that. I thought that would look cool. That's more classic demon look, you know what I mean? So, I am going to show that I did get Hogard done the other night, or last night. So, there he is. I don't have his card over here, or I'd show his card, but that's pretty similar to what he looks like on the card. We did the red on the cape back there because it wasn't on the card, so I kind of just asked Luke while he was streaming last night. I said, what color should his cape be? And so, yeah, and I think he turned out really good. I love the shield, the little dragon head on the shield. See if you guys can see that even better there. And the fire, I think it came out really cool. So, yeah, I think he came out really nice. I had thought about maybe still recording myself painting, even when Luke's down here streaming, and then it could be like bonus content on the nights I'm not streaming to maybe put over, on our YouTube or something like that. So, all right, so this is what the mini looks like that we're going to be working on tonight, and hopefully I can do her justice. So, and then here is her demon form. that I'm thinking because she's so small, I might have time to do both, or at least start on the demon as well. Because I think even though, her demon form is a bigger mini, I think it's going to be fairly simple color palette with a lot of just really cool little effects here and there. But for the most part, her demon form is going to be one solid color. So hopefully we can get to both of them here. Let me put on my my glasses that make my eyeballs look, 3 times bigger than what they are. Oh, Merlin's here. Hi, Merlin. He says, looks cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So I think, as usual, the very first thing that I usually do when I start painting is the skin tone. And so actually on her card, we always thought that her skin tone was green on this card. But when I put these magnifying glasses on to kind of look to see if I'm missing any details or to try to get the color down, she actually has really pale skin, which is what Luke wanted anyway. Like a real pale color on the skin. Go ahead and said that dry brush is going to pop out on that demon form. I agree, and I really hope so. I'm really super excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. So the color I chose for her skin tone is this apple barrel sun-kissed peach color, because I think that's a good light skin tone. And I'm hoping that I'm right about that. I think it'll be a good skin tone for her. So we're going to get that started now. And I'm still so sad that this brush, of course, you know what I remembered, that this brush that I absolutely have fallen in love with, I got those the little brushes and I don't like them as much. But this brush actually came from a pack from Walmart and it was only a couple of dollars. So I guess if I really, really want to replace this brush with the same one, I can just go and spend a couple extra dollars to get that pack, even if I don't really use the other brushes in it. Just because this has been my favorite detail brush so far that I've ever used. So I really, really like it. So anyway, let's start this. Her hand on this, Luke said it was a wand. I thought it was a dagger, but it's a wand. Her hand on this wand is a little bit wonky. And so I'm just going to kind of just try to paint it, as I see it here, and just kind of try to. She doesn't really have fingers either, at least on the model she doesn't. I know she does it on the card, but at least on the model she kind of just has. Now I know that this mini and on her card she's starting to transform into her demon form, and so maybe this hand was also starting to transform as well, and that's why it looks kind of weird. Always a possibility, right? Gotta be real careful that I don't paint too much stuff. Again, I'm gonna come this way a little bit because it's really. I'm gonna try to be really mindful of keeping the painting in the frame, because I have a bad habit of, if I rearrange or something, not paying attention, and then it goes out of frame. So I'm going to try really hard not to do that. I will say the only thing that I don't really like about these particular types of paint, especially the lighter they are, is I always need more than one coat. It's inevitable that almost every time I'm going to need more than one coat for that. And then some of the things on this mini I think they're not on the card, so I'm just going to kind of wing it and we'll see how it goes. Winging it is good sometimes. Alright, now I'm going to do her face and her ear here. And her face is so tiny. So I'm going to try to really not paint anything that's not supposed to be painted this color. Because her face is just so very small. Her face has been the thing I've been the most nervous about doing for this mini because it's just so small. So Luke's on here and he said, on second thought, would it look good to try and paint the wand brown like it's wood? They made it kind of seem like it's a crystal, but I kind of prefer the idea that it is wood. And then Gohan said, could you swirl a brown and a crystal color to make it seem like both? And Luke said that would be neat. Well, we'll see. Because the dagger on the card is a lot more like cool looking. Because what I was going to do is I was going to paint it like this color, the Skilly Doo color. And then I was going to put this really bright, disgusting slime green over top of it to kind of make the center of it pop like it is on the card. But I could always make the handle, if there's a handle there. Yeah, there's a handle on the other side. I could always kind of make that brown. And then maybe I could do a brown stripe in the middle of that too to kind of make it. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with that when we get to it. We'll see how it goes here. Alright. I'm going to try not to paint her eyes or her eyebrows or her lips, because her lips are actually green on the card. It's the same color as her hair. So I'm going to try not to paint it the peach color so that I can make sure that it gets painted the same color as her hair. Okay. Now I don't know, is that, no, that's hair. Okay. Her other ear is not showing because it's covered by hair. So yeah, I kind of wish her dagger was a little bit more, that it looked more like the card, because it's really cool on the card, but it's just kind of, it looks like a dagger for sure. Gohan said, I've always been better at bouncing ideas off other ideas than coming up with my own stuff. Well, I think that's true for, like, I know I do that as well. As far as, you know, trying to come up with my own ideas, I know that I can come up with ideas for other people better than I can for myself. And, yeah, it can be pretty frustrating at times. Okay, and also her eyes are orange as well, like an orangish color on the card. So I might paint her pupils orange if I could get that to come across, okay? If not, I can always paint them black. Not a big deal. So, okay, so I'm going to let that dry so that way, because her other hand is actually going to be red and black because it's starting to turn into the demon form. So the other hand is going to be red and black. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is maybe this big part of her skirt under here. Now this is actually from the card, it looks like a pale green color. And so I've chosen this maggot skin color is what it's called. They come up with some of the craziest names for these paints, I'm telling you. So I'm going to do this pale green skirt in this. This is the most pale green color that I have that's similar to it. That looks at least kind of close to what it looks like on the card. And even it is still just a little too dark, I think. But it's okay. It doesn't have to match 100% perfectly. So like I said, that light from that fire that's in her hand on the card is really hard to tell for sure what the colors are on this mini. So, I'm going to paint it green. We're just going to paint it green. Actually, that's actually a pretty good, it's paler than I thought it was going to be. So, that actually worked out. Now, I've been trying to determine what color to paint her boots because her boots are not in the card. And I'm having trouble with that. So if you guys have any opinions about what color her boots should be, see if you can see them. They're just kind of under the dress there. Nothing real special about them. I don't think they just look like just regular boots. So if you guys have any ideas about what color I should paint her boots, feel free to drop that in the chat there and let me know. Because I thought about just doing brown, but I don't know if that's just too common, you know what I mean? Because it's like everybody's got brown shoes kind of thing. So... Go ahead and says, don't ask me, I'll say Orange McOrange face. Orange McOrange. She actually is going to have some orange on her. So, I mean, it would match her boots, or her boots would match the orange sash that's going to be around her waist. Luke says, haha, Bodie McBoatface. If any of you watched last night's quest, you'll know that that was a reference to trying to figure out a name for the wizard, the older wizard that was introduced in the game last night. So that was pretty humorous. I laughed about that. I was sitting upstairs playing my game, listening to the stream, and I just busted out laughing. I'm glad I didn't wake my kids up. I think everyone should have voted for that name. Okay, and then what I might do is, once that dries, just put another coat on it to kind of, maybe I'll do it on the top, just to kind of make it a little bit more solid. And then go ahead and, or, let's see, Luke says, Mordecai's secret nickname, is that how you say that, Mordecai? And then go ahead and say, do you not know the legend of Bodie McBoatface? We need the backstory. Okay, so then her inner skirt, so this, sorry, I got to get my camera angles here. So this part, this inner skirt is, I think, pink. It looks pink, so I'm going to do a darker pink and then a lighter pink highlight maybe. I'm going to see how that turns out. So I chose something called Moon Lake Coral for the skirt color. Alright, hang on a second. Go ahead and said, in 2016, the British government agency NERC, is that NERC, is how you say that? Launched an online poll to name a new $200 million polar research ship. A former BBC radio presenter jokingly suggested Bodie McBoatface, and the internet rallied behind it. The silly moniker won the public vote by a landslide, capturing over 124,000 votes. He said it's a real thing. I did not know that. That is hilarious. And then Luke said, that is completely amazing. It really is. You should have named him Bodie McBoatface. That would have, he could have carried on the legend. That is hilarious. I love that. Of all the things. Alright, let's see how this Moonlight Coral color looks. Oh, it is definitely pink. Definitely pink for sure. I think by the time she's done, she's going to have a pretty interesting color palette going on here. And then I think that went on really, really well. I mean, I barely needed any at all, and it covered it pretty well. So I think, like, on the swirls of this, I'm going to put that brighter pink on. Oh man, okay. So Gohan says it's been 10 years already since that, and he said, dang, man. Officials ultimately decided the name was too informal for a $300 million flagship vessel and named the ship the RRS Sir David Attenborough instead. To appease the public, they gave the Bodie McBoatface moniker to one of the ship's high-tech remote-controlled mini-submarines. Well, at least something got to use the name. You know, you have that many people rally behind it. Apparently, it's a, you know, it's a popular thing and everybody needs to get over it. I think that's hilarious. I love that. People are too serious. I love that so much. And it's just a tad green up here, so I want to make sure I get that under there. Not something you would see unless you're looking real close, but you know. Uh, Luke says, it was definitely 2016 yesterday and no one can convince me otherwise. Yep, I agree. I still feel like the 80s were 20 years ago and the 90s were 10 years ago, and I probably will feel like that my whole entire life. I don't know if that's ever going to go away. I feel like I'm just going to always feel like that. Okay, so that's the only part of that skirt that... oh, no. No, I lied. There's a whole big chunk of it back here. I didn't even realize that. Well, you just find things out every day, I guess. Alright, so there's like a whole nother piece of this underskirt over here that I didn't even realize. Which I like, because I actually really like this color. I'm not one that's usually much for pink. I don't really like pink too much. But I do like a really deep, like dark pink, almost red pink. I do like that. So like a magenta kind of deal. I do like that. So we're going with it. Yeah, for some reason I thought that the overskirt that she has on was what was this part of this. I did not realize that this was actually the underskirt that was over here. So Goen says, yeah, the 80s were like 20 years ago. What? He said pink is his favorite color. Yeah, when I was growing up, I really didn't like any shade of pink, but as I've gotten older, it's grown on me. Actually, when I was a kid, my favorite color was yellow, which I think the only reason it was yellow was because of the yellow Power Ranger. The yellow Power Ranger was my favorite, and so for a long time, my favorite color was yellow because of that. And then Gohan said, been my favorite color since I was a teen. Right on. Luke said, always been a green guy myself, probably Power Rangers' fault. See? This is why we're together. My favorite color is green. But when I was a kid, it was definitely yellow. I loved yellow. And Gohan said, look, Tommy was just that cool. And Luke said, exactly. Yep. If he wasn't your favorite Power Ranger, you're lying. I think he was my sister's favorite when I was growing up. I think the reason why I liked the yellow Power Ranger was because of the saber-toothed tiger. I just love the saber-toothed tiger. Go ahead and said he beat up all 5 of them by himself. Yes, he did. He really did. He was like, he was just that cool. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Now, looking at this card, this part of the skirt, I don't know if you guys can see this. So this part of the skirt here, it's like a brown color, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Again, it's kind of difficult to tell because of the green light, is reflecting off of it. So I chose to do this. Oh, excuse me, I'm knocking all my paints over. Hang on one second here. So I chose to do this Bony Matter color. Bony Matter. Luke said, Gohan said, gave them the business for a week straight. And then Luke said he really did. I had that 5-episode arc on VHS as a kid. Wore those things out. Yep. Yeah, I remember actually, story time, quick side note. I got a pair of yellow Power Ranger gloves for Christmas one year. And I took them to school. And on the bus, I went to put it on, and in the finger, there was rocks in it. And so my dumb butt, instead of just dumping the rocks out onto the floor, held the glove out the window to try to dump it out. And they stopped the bus. And they came back, and they were like, who's putting their hand out the window? And I'm like, oh my God. The kid next to me ratted me out and pointed at me. And I was like, really? Because I didn't even think about it, you know what I mean? And then, of course, I got in trouble. But you have to keep your hands in the... And I'm like, oh, God, yes, I know. Gohan said I had a bunch of the legacy stuff, but I sold it after my wife left me. Oh, no. Oh, no. It got dark real quick. sorry to hear that, Gohan. Can't get this. There's a little piece of paint at the very bottom of this, and I can't get it shook up. It's driving me nuts. Alright. Ah! Just throw that on the ground. Alright, let's see how dark this color is. I think it's going to work. So, because I feel like it looks darker here than it's going to look on the mini. I feel like it's going to be lighter. And Gohan said it's been 3 years. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Luke said, oh man, that sucks. I've still got a bunch of that stuff at my parents' house. I should probably go get it before they sell it all. Yeah, because some of that stuff might be worth money depending on the rarity of it, you know. Because you had just about everything. Okay. Let's paint this. Ooh, this paint's pretty watery, so I hope that this is going to work okay. Gohan said, I traded some for a G1 Megatron that broke after a couple transformations. Oh man. Luke said, those Megazords were the best toys ever made. Then Gohan said, sold like 2/3 of my Transformers collection and like 90% of my Funko Pops. Wow. And then Luke said, oh man, that makes it even worse. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Gohan said, I still have the pieces though. I was going to fix it, but then another part broke off it, so it made it basically nothing. Could probably get something for the accessories, yeah? And then Luke said, right, that really sucks. It really does, man. Okay. Yeah, I think this brown was a good option. I feel like it's not too dark and it comes across the same way. I do think I'm going to do a darker brown for like the little pouch that she has on her waist. And then she's got some sort of bag over here on her waist too. I'm not sure what that is. Some sort of bag that I'll probably do in the darker brown like I usually do. The usual color I do. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get some more green while it's still got some green over here before it completely dries on me. And I'm just gonna go over this area again just to kind of give it more of a solid color here. Because this green is pretty thin. And so, whoops. I want that to be just a little bit thicker on there to make it look, I think I want to make it look better if it's just a little bit darker. And then what I might do is I have a dark green wash is underneath the skirt here, kind of where it's a little bit darker. There's an area underneath the skirt right here that's got some darker areas, and I might put some dark green wash just right there just to kind of give it more of a shadowy look. Luke says, I'm going to clock out, I think. If I don't get some sleep tonight, it'll be me that is super dead. Okay. Alright, well, I love you. Get you some sleep, my guy. Alright, she also has a potion bottle here on her back too. She's got a braid that goes around her hair. And in the card, it's all the same color, but I think I might make it a darker green. So, I'll go ahead and paint her hair, and then I might do that in a darker green color. So I've chosen this algae green for her hair color, because I think that this will come across good as far as it. And again, it might not be green, but in the card it looks green. So we're doing green. We're going with it. Yeah, I like this color. So, and her lips are actually this color too, and that's going to be hard to paint because her lips are so teeny tiny. Teeny, teeny, tiny. So I think she's supposed to be kind of, not really foresty looking, but more of those kind of like neutral colors, I guess. If that's what, are these neutral colors? These like muted, like foresty tones and like, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Or if that's what I'm trying to say. Oh, be careful right here. Whew. Sometimes it's really nerve-wracking. Yeah. Yeah, I think them braids are definitely all just one color, but I think that it'll look cooler if they're two different colors, so I think it'll look better. I know that you guys are hearing music right now, but it's just like crickets for me. Which that's fine. Alright, I think... Alright. Whew, I'm going to try to paint her lips and fingers crossed. I'm going to hold my breath. Oh, I don't trust this brush to do it. Okay, I'm going to use this brush. And see if it does, you know, any better. Alright, I'm going to come forward here to lean my elbows on the table to steady my hands a little bit more. Because I've got steady hands, but... Oh gosh, I'm so nervous. Okay, I think actually some of this is still part of the face too. So I'm going to get a little bit of the face color at this kind of... More of the face color, huh? feel like our heater or air conditioner or whatever it was that's running just now is making some really funky noise. It just wound down and it like did a whole thing with it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so now it looks like on the card, this outline on the skirt, like around the brown, is silver. That's what it looks like on the card. However, I don't know if I want to do silver. Although if that is how it is on the card, I want it to be as fairly accurate as possible, but yeah, I think silver will be okay. Justin says, need to make a super dead t-shirt. Yes. Alright, let's get her some silver going on here. By the time I got done with the dwarf last night, this whole tray was completely, like, each compartment had 3 or 4 dots in it, and the 2 compartments up here had dots in them. I was like, man. Alright, let's see. So, it's going to be, let's bring it a little closer. There we go. Ooh, doing the really detailed areas is hard. When you gotta make a straight line, it's very difficult. Ooh. Ow! So the other night when Luke was playing too, and the spider thing happened, so for anybody that might be listening that's new, that didn't see that stream, Luke was streaming the other night, and out of his peripheral vision, he saw a big spider come down, and I am terrified of spiders, absolutely terrified. Hate them, they creep me out, just the way they move and how fast they are and just everything about them just freaks me out. So I joked and I said I'm never going to be, no more painting stream because I'm never going to be able to go down in the basement again. And then like when I was down here last night, I kept looking up at the ceiling in the area where he saw it and stuff, just convinced I was going to see it, and just, and I'm boxed in here. So it happened behind me, in the area behind me. So if that would have, I don't know how that would have went. I probably would have jumped over this table to get away from it. But when I grabbed my mic tonight, I looked down there by the lamp that's over there, and on the ground is a dead spider, and it's the carcass of a big dead spider. So I'm hoping that it was that one, and that he was killed in the fall. That would make me feel a whole lot better about, be doing this or something, and if it comes down on me or in front of me, I would have a heart attack. Justin said, we are heading to bed. Got to go to work 4 hours early tomorrow. Keeping stream up, though. Okay, well, thanks for joining me, and thanks for hanging out. It's always nice talking to you, and I'm glad you were hanging out with me tonight. you all with my endless bladder. Yeah, I think that was an okay choice. Was doing the silver. I wasn't too sure about it, but I actually do kind of like that. So I think that looks pretty good, pretty nice. Okay. So now I'm gonna start on the orange, I think. And the little like tie that comes off her waist right here is going to be orange. A couple other things I think are orange. So I chose a nuclear sunrise is what it's called. It's a really nice orange. It's a darker orange and I really like it. So we're going to use that color. We're doing it. Okay. Alright. So, just start taking the little sash that she's got here. I assume that's what this is. That's what I'm calling it. Looks like a sash to me. This thing that's crossed around her top here is also orange. Paintbrush is starting to split. And then it comes around onto her back. Okay. That looks nice. Okay. So what else? Looks like in the area that's underneath this area around her waist is orange. Which I guess that makes sense. Start getting in where all these little tiny details are and it's hard to tell. And around the back, it's a little bit muddy back here. So I'm just going to kind of guess where things are. Because it's kind of hard to tell back here. I think this might be the tie on the sash. It's right there. That's what I think it is. That's what it looks like to me. Alright, and so now that her skin tone has dried on her hand, I'm going to put a little bit more of the peach color to just cover up the inconsistent areas here that are on her hand here. Same with her face. Okay. So now I'm going to figure out the darker green I want to in her hair. So I think I'm going to use this dark green Gunner Camo. And if any of you watched my first, I think it was my first painting stream when I did the Swamp Goblins, this is their skin color that I used, was this Gunner Camo color. So I'm just going to put it in the braids that are in her hair, just to give them a little bit of a different tone. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that gives it enough of a difference that it looks nice, I think. I think that looks nice. Nice! Okay. So then, her top, I feel like, is white. But I also know that there are still some more silver areas here that I'm going to paint really quick. That are on, like, the belt area here. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure about the silver, but I think it actually does. It looks nice, I think. So, I'm here for it. All right. So now, I think. Let me look at this card again. Hang on one second. All right. So. There's a little silver piece that's on this bodice she's wearing. Honestly, the shirt might be brown too, now that I'm looking at this. I think it actually might be. And then, like, white around the sleeves. Okay. Well, let's get this shirt to be brown then. Here's a little piece that's silver on the card. Because this color just is pretty runny, so I gotta be careful it doesn't bleed down onto any of the other parts of the mini I don't want it to, essentially. her sleeve is this color, right? Or no, I think the sleeve is white. But this part, I think, is brown. Or at least that's what we're going with. We're just going to make it our own. Because this part's not really that clear on the card. So... this part is brown, I think. Don't mean to whisper, just don't want to mess up. And it's this piece here that's brown. Okay, and then I think the little, she's got like puff sleeves and like little divots in between the puffs, and so I think I'm going to make the end between the puffs brown. And I'm going to paint the puffs of the puff white, I think. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Puffs over here too. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Dookly dookly doo. Joanne said directions unclear, painted a fatty. And it's spelled Phatty. And then she's got the little silver piece. It's like right here in the center. So I'm not sure. On the card, it's like this little like buckle piece that runs the whole length of her chest, but on the mini, it's just in the center. And I wonder actually now, because I think that they're white on the card, but I wonder if they look better silver, since how like the outline of her skirt was silver and the inside of the skirt was brown. So I'm changing that as well. I think I'm going to make it silver. So we're going to go around the puff of the sleeve. That was smooth. Oh, more lines. kills my back and my elbows. And then I think this part of the sleeve is also going to be silver as well. This big part. Big piece of the sleeve. Better. Okay. Maybe I'll use the thinner brush to paint the poofs, just because they're such a thin area. Ouch. Some more brown. Silver too, apparently. There we go. Oops. Brush frayed apart. I hate that when that happens. Stay together. Small light. No? Cool. Haven't had my light on this whole time. But it's fine. Oh, I got a little bit of brown paint under her chin, man. Didn't even realize that. There we go. We'll fix that real quick. Right like that. Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to attempt to do her eyes. Ooh, wish me luck. Like I said in the card, her eyes are orange. So. What is wrong with this brush? Why is it being... There we go. That better? I feel like that's a little better. Yeah, Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking that since how her, um, we're changing the look of her demon form than what's on the card, I'm just gonna make her pupils black because I feel like that fits. Do I want to use this or do I want to use this one? Or maybe even this one. Let's see. Alright. We're gonna try this this brush here. Just see. Eyes are the worst thing about models. Let that dry, and then that eye bled a little, so I'm gonna let that dry and then fix it with some of the skin tone color. So that definitely bled onto her skin. Yeah. Alright. I missed some of the skirt down here in this green. So let's fix that. Go ahead, said the worst thing about models is how entitled they think they are. That's right. I agree. Like, how dare you have small, tiny eyes that are impossible to paint? This is the type of area that, oops, you will never see unless you're literally holding the mini like upside down. But we're gonna paint it anyhow. Any spots I may have messed up here on the skirt, I'm gonna go ahead and give another little dab here just in case, since I have the green out. Just to kind of make sure it's covered. And I think that's nice. Alright. I think I'm going to go ahead and go in under the skirt with that dark green, or the green tone that I have. Oh, I have a military shade too, which I forgot about. Let's do the military shade, I think. We're going with it, we're working with it. Okay. Just a little bit here. And then I'm just going to put that up in these darker areas. So I want these divots to have a little bit more definition in them. That'll work. That will work for me. Okay. Her eye didn't take long to dry. I do think I want some more of this here. And then I'm going to put a little bit of water mixed with that. Or a little bit. I have this, let's see, right here. This speed paint medium here. It's just basically water, I think. Pretty sure. That just kind of helps thin the paint up a little bit if it's too thick. And acrylic paint can be a little bit thick. And so it goes on kind of goopy. So I think I'm just going to put just a tad bit of this. Not much, just a couple of drops, just to kind of thin it up a little bit. We're just going to kind of mix that with that, kind of make it a little more runny, so it goes on more smoothly. So I can try to fix up this eye area here. I think that looks better. Yeah, that definitely looks better, I think. Now she doesn't look like she's so wonky-eyed. That looks a lot better. Okay, so her boots, I think I am just going to do the boots in a dark brown. So I just have my hardened leather color. I'm going to be wearing dark brown boots. Dark brown boots. Alright. Or medium brown, however color you want to look at this color. And I did get some on the base, but again, I don't really care if I get, paint on the base, just because I'm going to paint over it with a more solid black later. So it's fine if I get some paint on the base when I do the shoes. It's not ever that big of a deal. Okay, it does look like maybe I got a little bit of brown up here on the dirt, so I'm going to fix that real quick. Because I don't think that was the wash that I used, the green wash that I used earlier. Alright, and so I think, oh, while I have this brown, I'm going to paint this little pouch that's on her waist. I'm going to say I think the only thing I have left is her wand and her hand, but then I forgot about all the stuff that's on her belt, or at her waist. So she's got that brown pouch, and then again, this is a potion bottle of some kind, but I don't know what this is. I can't really tell, and it's not really clear on here. Oh, it's a book. I think it's a book. Okay. Yeah, it's like a leather-bound book. Alright, well that makes a whole lot more sense now that I looked at that a little bit more closely. So I wonder if we can't obviously paint this part brown, but then like the clasps on it can be silver. So it's got, I wish it wasn't under her arm. It's really hard to see. Why couldn't they have put the little brown pouch on her waist on this side, and then the book, like the full book on the other side, under the arm that's raised up? That would have been better, I think. Because I am having a heck of a time seeing this. Alright, and then she's got a potion bottle, and I think maybe, what color should the potion be? Let's see. I think there's like a little sling holding this potion bottle to her waist. So I'm going to paint that little part brown, but the actual like potion on the inside is going to be a different color. So this is kind of like lashed to her belt here. At the top of it here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and let that part dry, and then I'm going to do some of the pink highlights on the front of the squirt. The front of the skirt. The squirt. She's wearing a little squirt. She is a little squirt. She's a little tiny thing. Alright, let's see how this turns out here. That's a lot darker than I thought, so hopefully... I'm just going to use this brush to kind of just like brush the details on, as far as it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I like that. Kind of gives it a look that it's a couple different colors versus just the one same color. I like it. You like it? See if I can get it in there. Right here. Not really easy. Okay, so now I think I'm going to work on her wand. Actually, I'm going to fix that shoe because it's like two-toned. I don't know why. But not flattering two-toned, kind of just looks like, I don't know. Alright, so now I'm going to work on the silver. Do I still have... I'm going to try this brush. Yes, I still have some. Alright, so she actually has an earring in the card. Not really one here, but I think I can kind of just dot one on there. And I think it'll work. So I'm going to use this orc skin green, because it's green on the card. So we're going to do it. We're doing it. And I need just the tiniest little dab of that. Not much at all. I think maybe I'll make the potion bottle this color too, maybe. Okay. And a little tiny thing of green, just there. Okay. And make this bright green color as well. Bright green potion. So if any of you are painting and you accidentally put some paint on there and it bleeds over and you don't know how to fix it, I just clean the brush and then just dab it away, dip it in water and dab it away, and that usually clears up the issue, is to do that if it accidentally bleeds over. And then you can fix it if it messes up any of the area. It did mess up the brown just a little bit. So, see if I have enough brown here. I don't think I do. Alright. Get a little bit more of that bony matter color. Okay. Take a little piece. Oop. Bony matter. You kind of fix that layer up there. That kind of got screwed up. Yeah. We got it. I feel like too. I need to go over with this brown. And now I don't remember where it was. Okay, well. I don't remember for sure. Okay. Now let me Alright, I think everything is painted now, except for the little cap of this potion bottle. Now I think it's just the dagger and the wand and the hand. Alright, so I'm gonna do this color and this color. And then maybe this brown color. Alright, so I definitely want the handle of it to be like this wooden color. I already have that on there, so I don't gotta worry about putting more on there. On my tray, if that's that color. And I'm gonna make the handle this brown color. Alright, so then I'm going to paint like the actual wand color, this ghillie doo color. Alright, so this is a brighter green. I mean, it's kind of like a medium, I guess, more medium. But it's like a bright medium, I guess, is what I would call it. Okay, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then when that dries, I'm going to mix in some of this the disgusting like electric green color, and maybe mix it with some of the brown and kind of make it look, I don't know, we'll see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good right there. So now I'm going to paint her arm and her hand the black and red color, because Luke and me decided earlier that the demon form, it's going to be red and black mostly, but he wants it like a deeper red color. So we're going to go with that and just see how that looks. I think it'll be pretty good, because I really like this. This is called Slaughter Red. I really like this red. It's a nice, bright, vibrant, but also deep red color, and I really, really like it. So the majority of this hand is going to be red, and then all the little like veins and stuff that are popping up off of it are going to be black. So I'm just going to start right here in this area. You can tell it's starting to get warm outside. The crickets are chirping. I haven't heard that sound for a while. Kind of looks like she just kind of ripped out the heart of her enemy, which is pretty cool. Don't paint the hair, don't paint the hair. Don't paint the hair. black. I don't remember which one of these dots was black, so I gotta put a new dot on there of black. Some of them are hard to see. Okay, and then don't think the dagger's quite ready yet. Look, yeah. So I have this radiation glow orange that I think I'm going to put on the sash to highlight it. Now this one's going to take me a minute to mix up, or I could use. I also have this fresh rust color, which is also, I don't know if I want it to be quite so bright. Actually, yeah, that's not bright enough. All right. I'm going to use this rust color, actually. Now, this rust color I really do like because it really does, it can make a blade look rusted, which I guess, you know, it's called fresh rust. So, yeah, that makes sense. But it also could be pretty thick and like gritty almost. So it's really hard to get out of the bottle too. I think I'm just going to, usually what I do with that is I mix it with water to kind of loosen it up a little, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to kind of keep my brush wet, and that'll help. There we go. Whoops. I'll just throw that around. It's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to take some more of that original orange and just kind of mix it in certain areas to kind of give it a I think your hand turned out pretty cool. I kind of put the black like around it too to kind of make it look like it's spreading kind of thing, and I think that's really cool. I don't know how well you guys can see how close I can get. And then her hand there. But I think it came out really good. Camera angles are never as good as like seeing it in real life. Okay, so I think that dagger is pretty dry now. So I'm going to use these two colors. I'm actually just going to put it here and mix it with the, because this is kind of thick too. So I'm going to just mix it with the brown. And we'll see how this goes. Trying to give it like a replace my paper towel. It's starting to get a little worn out there. And then on top of that, I'm gonna put the great thing. Alright, so I think maybe, other than her base, she's pretty done, I think. Do I have, hold on a second. I have a red, where is it? A dark red tone. I want to use that on that skirt part. Something that I'm going to try here. I just want to see if it'll work. See if we can get a bubble stop. I hate it when there's bubbles in that. Alright. So what we're going to do is just right here in the folds of this skirt, the darker pieces. I'm going to darken that up. Just so there's better shadow where there needs to be shadow. And then on this side, just clean up the lines a little bit. Doesn't need it too much. Okay, and then I also think that I want to, at the top of the skirt there, I also have a strong tone, like a brown strong tone. I'm going to put some shadow up there too, just to give it a little bit of a, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say, an effect I guess, what I'm trying to say. So just at the top here, and then just at the very top. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do that in her hair too, because I've got that green, this military shade tone, and I'm going to do just I don't remember where that color was when I put it on here. We're going to see it right here. It was long enough ago now that I can't remember which one it is. So I'm just going to give her a little bit in her hair. Going around there. These darker areas that need to be kind of shaded. Few areas on the top of the hair. And the little bangs coming out. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get her base painted. Alright, and then I just used the apple barrel black paint for that. So I'm running out of space on this little guy. You know what? I think these two are dry. Yep, I'll just scrape those off. And put a little bit of the black paint. Don't need a lot for her base. Probably didn't even need that much. know if I've painted any of the bases on the stream yet. I can't remember. Okay, this is going to be a tricky area to get that paint in without painting anything else, so I think I'm going to use my small paintbrush for that as well. Get the paint up in there where it needs to be. And the same in the back as well. The only thing I'll have left to do on her now is just to put Mod Podge on her to seal her. And then let's see if we can get a good look of her here. Oh man, my lamp is in the shot of the camera. Come on. I can't get these angles right. Alright, and then there's... There we go. And there's her front. Is it better with or without the light? In the light or out of the light? But there she is. So... she is done. Alright, so now we're moving on to the big guy. Or big girl, I guess. So, honestly, I really don't think there's going to be too many color variations with this. There's going to be, it's mostly just going to be red and black. So I guess we'll just get started on her. Yeah. It's going to be really hard to determine what's red and what's black. But we're going to do it. We're going to get it. I'm going to turn my tray around because I'm probably going to need quite a bit of this. I'm going to use this dark red tone as well. I don't think I'll need either one of these. Or that. Maybe. Probably not, actually, on that. Okay. Excuse me. I'm getting tired. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and use up the red that I have left from earlier. I don't want to waste any paint, so I'm going to need a new paper towel. Alright. I'm going to take a look real quick at... Okay, there they are. I think I used, in these purple brushes, I'm using what I feel is the thinnest one, the smallest one. But I'm going to double check that just to make sure. Alright, so that one's really long. That one is really, really long. That one's not bad. And that one is too long. Okay. Because I'm thinking that I want to get the black in the veins on the wings, but I'm going to need a really thin brush to do that. So, and this one is starting to get a little bit frayed. This is by far the smallest one, but it's also starting to fray apart. So, I don't know how I can possibly fix that. So we're just gonna give this one a whirl here and see how it does. Okay, let's get into the demon form here. I'm gonna start with the wings, I think. Probably the back of the wings. And what I'm just thinking. I think I'm gonna make these all the way down black. And the inside, yep. Just made that decision right there. That's what we're doing, Liz. We're doing it. That's my catchphrase. We're doing it. dust here. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, there we go. A little bit better here. My back. My back. Focus here is just to get all of the red on him done and then switch over to the black. outside. Close enough. Sure, get all the red that has dried on to the brush off. Okay. This is just going to get more difficult the closer on the inside that I get to it. Oops. Okay, let's see. Now the other side. It's okay if this is just a little messy because I'm going to be using black in the veins and stuff and black covers. Well, so any little happy little trees, you know, that I make in there will be covered by the black paint when I get to it. Black paint is what I'm going to have to be really careful. leaning on this table. I need elbow supports. Just leaning on this table. Just about kills my elbows. The hands on this thing are just in the most weirdest positions. They're blocking the weirdest parts. Good. Okay, you're good. Alright. That part. Now, moving on. I think it's hair. Like all the way around, that's all gonna be black. Oh, she does have some teeth. So I will be painting those teeth for that. Going back this way now. Starting to get uncomfortable, so it's hard for me to stay in one position for too long. I do think I want the face to be red as well. I think this is going to be one of my favorite ones when it's done that I've done so far. Ah! Okay, let's see. Now. Kind of hard to see back down in here exactly what I'm doing. Stay on there. Okay. Turn like that. Make sure I got everything in there. Okay, this area. decide. Do I want... I'm just talking to myself. I'm trying to think out loud here. Getting to be, ooh, 2:19, almost 2:30 here. red. Where was I? Oh, my bad. It's hard to see under there. Down this way. Itch on the side of my head. decide if I want the chest to be black or red. So, okay. I'm thinking maybe it ought to just be red too. And then I can put some dark tone under it, the dark red tone to kind of, yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Make it red. Okay. It's getting to be about 2:30 here, and I'm pretty tired. So I think what I'm gonna do is stop here for the night, and then Wednesday finish up. I hope Luke doesn't need this one tomorrow for the quest, because I'm pretty tired. And for me to be able to do all the black that needs done, and then all the cracks and crevices that I want to paint black, and then just any details I want to add to her demon form, I think it's just going to take me, I'll be here till 4 o'clock in the morning, you know. So I'm thinking right now, though, since how the, like, fur, I guess you call that's on top of the hooves she's got, is going to be black. So I'm going to paint her hooves red, I think. Just so that way it's not just like black on black, you know what I mean? So you can tell like there's a little bit of a difference there. Okay, so once I'm done with these hooves, I'm going to call it for the night. And then I'll pick this up. On Wednesday night. Unless I feel like finishing it before Wednesday. Maybe Luke and I can figure out a way that we can both be on here. Okay, yep. So far, that is what we have so far. But it is 2:30 in the morning. I am pretty tired, and I don't want to rush this. Also, I don't want to mess it up because I'm tired. So, we're going to call that for the night. I'm starting to go cross-eyed too, so, ugh. But, yep, I think it's coming out good. It's coming out nice. It's gonna look, she's gonna look pretty awesome when she's done. And I think that the human form of her came out really nice as well. So, yep. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for hanging with me, and if anybody's still in here, then, you know, good night. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. Luke will be back on the stream, playing the next quest. And if you guys ever have any questions or anything like that, just feel free to shoot us a message or get in here and put it in your put in the chat and come and hang out with us and just have fun with us. That's the whole point of us doing this, is just so that we can have fun with it. I've really been enjoying hanging out with you guys and painting. I'm getting back into it again. I took a break for a long time, and I'm feeling invigorated with it. So thanks again for hanging out with me, and we'll see you guys next time, okay? I'll see you on Wednesday. Got some right there in the forehead. Alright, guys.